2021 and as we're seeing into 2022 are really the years for automotive enthusiasts of, in my opinion, this decade. If you've been looking at enthusiast vehicles or you've been into cars for the last 30 years like I have, you got to see a couple of spikes in years where automakers really took enthusiast vehicles to the next level. They really put an emphasis on putting something out there for people like you and me. Probably in the late 90s, maybe again in the late 2010 to 2012-13 era, and then we saw a gap up until what I would say relatively recently, with the exception of a few cars. In the next coming years, we're seeing a lot of cars come out. You've already seen our tequila talk on the new Acura Integra, and if you're interested in seeing my drunk opinion on that, check out the link up here. However, today we're going to be talking about one of the other cars that we expect to see, and if you've read the title of the video, which I'm assuming you have, then you already know, today we are talking all about the new BRZ. Now, of all the automakers that have released that they're going to be coming out with a new car, a new enthusiast platform in the 2022, late 2021 season, I guess we'll refer to it as, Subaru's actually the only one who's referenced that they're excited to see what happens to these cars when the aftermarket comes to jump on, which to me at least leads a lot of questions. It brings on a lot of speculation and curiosity. Now, there's been a handful of these cars hit the market. You guys have already seen that we're working with Evan Shanks on his. We know that another one of our friends, Devin Niemola, has one as well. There's other people like TJ Hunt and tons of other people out there on the internet who have already gotten these cars and started to modify them. And there's a few things that we know right off the bat. But before we get into that, let's talk about the facts about this car as it came from the factory. So to start off, the car is being priced at $28,000 as the starting MSRP. From there, we already know that the car comes with 228 horsepower at 7,000 RPMs. We know that it weighs just over 2,800 pounds and it has a nearly perfect 50-50 weight distribution. It comes with the all-new 2.4 liter direct injected boxer engine from Subaru, and it also has the 6-speed manual option, which if you're looking at some of the other enthusiast platforms, you already know that that's not necessarily going to be a shared thing across enthusiast vehicles as we move forward. So all in all, what's really new about this new BRZ? Obviously, we know it has the new engine, a bit of a facelift, which if I'm being honest, I am coming to enjoy more than the older generation. And that it is also still a small, lightweight, rear-wheel drive, driver-centric car that hopefully lends itself to the modification platform that we all know the previous generation to be. But above all else, the number one thing that stands out to us is that they definitely gave this car a little bit more power. So they definitely heard what everybody was looking for, with the exception of one thing, and that's, I think, that we all just wish it came with a turbocharged model. But that's what we exist for. So to start off, again, the new 2.4 liter engine is noticeably more powerful and a bit more torquey than the previous 2.0 liter model, reportedly about 15% more horsepower and about 20% more torque. So happy to see, again, that increase in power coming to the new platform. Additionally, with this new engine and the updates that they've made to the platform, it's reportedly has a 6-second 0 to 60 time. Ours shows up in March. We'll definitely test that out. I'll get back to you on that. The car, like the previous gen, has tons of steering feedback. Again, maybe some bump steer correction, things like that to help bring it out. But overall, you're gonna feel very connected to the road as the driver, which again, we feel as a positive. Today, the thing that we're gonna get into a little bit more in detail is really what we know about the new BRZ platform, other than the facts that we've previously just stated. So that brings me to the next section of this, which is the aftermarket. What are we seeing from our point of view, and what can we tell you guys about with this new car? Aside from the fact that they're going to be really hard for you to get from the dealerships, they're only really bringing them in upon like a pre-order request. If you're like us, there's maybe one or two that you could snag up, but if you want the ideal spec or a specific color that they just don't happen to have, you're going to need to order it and likely wait about 4 months to 5 months like we are. Again, we didn't want to compromise on some of these things, so we ordered the spec we wanted and figured it'd be worth the wait. Now, again, the aftermarket. What are the things that we know and what can we expect in the next year? In terms of aftermarket product fitment, we know a few things. For one, we know that the old suspension from the older generation will fit on the new BRZs. If you check out Evan Shank's video or just this screenshot here of his car, then you already might know that we sent him a set of older generation BC coilovers for his new 2022 BRZ, and they fit just fine. He said it drives great, which would lead me to believe that even the spring rates that would have been spec'd for the factory or for the off-the-shelf suspension for the older generation BRZs is an exact fit, which is actually pretty confidence-inspiring, knowing that, again, he's somebody who has tons of modified vehicles and gives us the feedback that it drives and rides perfectly, and the installation was literally the same as any other coilover install. Additionally, thanks to a few videos I've seen from TJ Hunt, who you might know, we also know that the old BRZ headers fit right up onto the new one. Even though there's a different motor altogether, these fit up perfectly and would connect to the factory front pipe, which would then connect to your aftermarket exhaust if you choose to get one. So if you wanted to modify the headers, which we all know the old generation BRZs sound pretty cool with a set of headers on there, you can go ahead and put those on, connect to the stock front pipe, which would then connect to any aftermarket new generation BRZ to the back. Bringing me to my next point, the old generation BRZ catbacks don't fit. So some modification may be necessary, but if you were to get an older one, you definitely have some custom fab work on your hands, or if you're interested in just making your own catback like our friend Evan Shanks did, you can just go ahead and get some pipe from our website, maperformance.com, and you can go ahead and fabricate your own if you went and got some sort of aftermarket muffler to go with it. Now, when it comes to wheel fitment, that's one thing that I know I was very curious about, because I'm very much so looking forward to lowering our BRZ when we get it, and of course putting on a nice set of wheels. However, as you may or may not know, finding wheels in stock that are also really cool is not something that's very common these days. With that being said, I knew that we were gonna have to order a custom set of wheels or pre-order something, because again, I wanted to make sure that what we ordered would be the ideal fitment for the car without any compromise. However, I didn't want to get some, for lack of a better term, shitty wheel that just happened to be in stock. With that being said, the fitment that you're going to want to look for in terms of the perfect square setup for your BRZ is 18 by 9.5 plus 38 on all fours. With that being said, it's going to give you a really nice square fitment from most wheel manufacturers. Again, there's different people that manufacture things. However, the measurements should all be the same and translate through. Again, take into consideration any sort of like stepped lip or anything like that, depending on where it is you're getting the wheel from or what wheel you're buying specifically for your car. We'll throw up a picture of Evan's wheels on the screen if you haven't already gotten used to seeing it. This is what the 18 by 9.5 plus 38 square fitment looks like. That's exactly what he put on his car, and the fitment is pretty bonkers if you ask me. It's really on point. So that brings us to the next point, which is, again, the turbocharger factor. It didn't come with one. So the one thing I know we're definitely looking forward to is our turbo kit for the old generation, and seeing how closely it is that fits in the new engine bay with everything else that's in there. Again, it's an entirely different motor, but with that being said, there have been other components that fit flawlessly, and from the SEMA 2021 show that I was at, I got to stop by the HKS booth, and I did even see that they're coming out with some oil coolers and bolt-on turbo kits for the new BRZ platform that'd be coming out within, I would assume, later in next year, based on conversations with HKS. So if you're interested in kind of staying up to date with that, go ahead and go to our website and sign up for the newsletter if that's the sort of thing that you're into doing. In terms of other noteworthy items, the engine bay does look super easy to work on, unlike some of the other newer platforms. Even like the new Q60, it seems like everything is packed in there. I'm gonna assume all of that's gonna literally translate over the new Nissan Z, which again, having been able to look under the hood of one of those, I can confirm that it also looks like it might be kind of a pain in the ass. But with that being said, the new BRZ seems to be an exception to the rule here, where again, the engine fits in there relatively nicely, and it seems as if it'll be something that's somewhat easy to work on. Aside from that, really the rest of the future of this platform is an exciting one for us. Again, we're really looking forward to playing with the new 2.4 liter motor, seeing what that can do with some boost added to it. It seems as if though at every turn this has been a car that's been primed for the enthusiast base to go and really just do the thing that we do, which is throw more power at it, make it go faster, stop sooner, and corner better. But again, with that being said, we'll see. What do you guys want to see us do to our car? You'll have to go ahead and let us know down in the comments. Again, ours should be showing up in March. We already have parts ordered for the car. I can assure you one of the things we want to do is turbocharge it. So if you think so, just say turbocharge it down below. Otherwise, like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.